Hey guys, welcome back to Gideon Stuff and welcome to another ranking video. Today, as I'm sure you're aware, we're ranking all my button locks. This has the potential to be the shortest video in this series, depending on how much I decide to yap. But I was actually kind of shocked while I was gathering up my button locks to discover that I really don't have very many button locks at all. I was kind of shocked, not completely, because I am not the biggest button lock fan. I've said that many times. I'm just not a plunge lock fan. I've had some bad experiences with them in the past, and I tend to just kind of avoid them, even though some of my favorite knives of all time are going to be on this list. Yeah, I don't have that many button locks, so this should be a fairly straightforward and simple video. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. Most of my button locks, like the vast majority of them, are from the same company, and that company is CJRB. Do we want to start with all those, or should we knock out some of... You know what? Let's save those for last. Let's knock out some of the random ones. Let's start here. Oh, shoot. Man, it's hot. Woo! It's like 103 degrees out here right now, and it's only going to get hotter. It's about 2:30 right now, so 4 o'clock's hottest time of the day. We'll try and get this finished before my phone melts and or explodes. But let's start with this knife right here. This is the Tucson TS338. This is a really cool knife. This was given to me by a friend, and this is maybe the most overbuilt button lock that I have. Massive thumb studs, massive plunge, big old stop pin. Oh, I forgot to give the whole preamble. So we're going to be ranking these from S to F, no E tier. S being the best of the best. You know, these are knives that are just, they would be stars in any collection. F is going to be the worst of the worst. A tier, these are great knives, amazing knives, just not the cream of the crop. B tier, these are above average knives. These are knives that you should be proud to own. These are knives that you should be recommending. C tier, very average, nothing wrong, nothing great, doesn't really stand out. D tier, these are knives that are below average, pretty bad, but not the worst of the worst. Okay, so that out of the way, let's get going. Also, I'm only including like typical plunge style button locks. We're not doing any of the button actuated frame locks, liner locks, top liner locks, compression lock things. I only have one button operated compression lock knife right now, but these are just traditional plunge locks. I think that's the best way to do this, just for simplicity's sake. And also, if there's a knife on here that you're like, wait, Gideon, didn't you review this knife? Oh, Gideon, where's that knife? If you know I reviewed it, I probably gave it away or sold it or something. It's just not in my collection anymore. If it's a knife that you're like, wait, where is this knife? Check my channel playlist to see if I've reviewed it before. My playlists are arranged by brand, so you can look it up. If you don't find it there, I probably never reviewed it. I probably never owned it, so it's not going to be on this list. Okay. Anyways, back to this Tucson. Very cool knife. I love the stylings of this knife. It's got kind of a, I don't know, Western steampunk vibe. I do love this Bowie blade. Very unique look. Again, very overbuilt. I have had some serious issues with this knife. The button took some dialing in. I had to go in there and re-stretch the spring and just do some adjustments because it was having some issues. For sure, it would get to where you couldn't open the button because the button lock would like lock the knife closed. You could hardly open it with the thumb studs. But just adjusting the tension and stuff kind of fixed a lot of that. This is a very cool knife. I'm not going to say this is the best knife ever, but it does get massive points for style. I'm going to put this one, I'm kind of debating between A tier and B tier. This has a D2 blade, micarta, titanium. It's a really cool knife, but the issues that I have had with it in the past, even though they're fixed now, those are keeping me from putting it in S tier. But how far do those issues knock it down compared to how like unique and awesome the knife is? I think we're gonna give it A tier. We're gonna give it A tier. That seems decent to me. I like A tier. Okay, let's move on to this knife. This is an ugly little knife. This is a knife I did not think I would like, but I really love it. Now, this was given to me by a channel member, old Tonto guy. This is the Gerber Fullback. Ooh, I almost forgot the name. This is a Gerber Fullback. What an ugly little knife. Tip down only carry. It is a button lock. It's assisted. Injection molded handles. You do have a secondary like safety right here. This is a really weird knife. It's a hideous knife. It's a knife that I did not think I would like. Most Gerbers I don't tend to like, but this is an awesome knife. It performs really well. It's built very, very solidly. The materials are nothing special. This is a 7CR blade. But there's something about this knife that does make it special. It's a little bit unique. It's ugly, but man, it's a good worker. I really do like this knife a lot. There are some things that I don't like. You know, I wish the clip was reversible. I actually don't mind the assist at all. I do wish the materials were a little bit better. This knife is also, I'm debating between A and B tier. Again, I'm not a huge fan of button locks, so if there's a knife that's a button lock that I absolutely love, that's already saying a lot. And this knife, I want to say I absolutely love this knife, but I do like this knife a lot, and it has impressed me a lot. My instinct is to put it in A tier, but I know we don't have very many button locks. I'm looking at some of the stuff that we have out here. We're gonna put it in B tier. We'll put it in B. That's like B plus. That's a really cool knife. We'll put it in B tier for now. Next up, we have, man, sending these knives out on the tailgate was not smart, Gideon. This is the Ozark Trail Elevation. I reviewed this not too long ago. 12C27 G10 aluminum accents. This is a really cool little knife. I think this is Ozark Trail's most expensive folding knife. These are like $25. For a $25 knife, though, it's really, really excellent. This is not a perfect knife. There are some issues I had with this knife. And it's definitely not a knife that I've returned to carry since I reviewed it. But it's a very cool knife, and it's one that I do enjoy quite a bit. The edge was pretty badly burned out of the box and stuff. The ergos are nice, though. The blade does cut good, especially once you get your own edge on there. It'll cut really, really nicely. The action is actually very, very good. This is a cool one. This one's going in B tier as well. That's a good knife, especially for the price. Next up, we have the Civivi Conspirator. This is a knife that I've held on to for quite some time, actually. Man, that is so stinking hot. I am burning my hand. We're going to have to start playing hot potato here. It's a good way to get hurt, playing hot potato with knives. I could close it, and that would make it a little bit safer. You didn't see that. Anyways, this is a cool knife. And this is a knife that actually I always liked. But I think, like, I dug this knife out somewhat recently just to kind of mess with it. And I carried it a little bit. And I think, actually, if I spend some more time with this knife, I think I like it now. I think I like it better now than I did back when I reviewed it. It's a cool knife. Definitely not one of my favorite button locks. Not even one of my favorite Civivis, but it is a good knife. The ergos are very, very good. I do love this blade shape. You got flipper and a fuller for deployment. Reversible clip. You got that good Civivi build quality. I do think this is discontinued, and I think this is one of the last Civivis. If I remember right, this is one of the last Civivis that was reasonably priced when it first came out. I think these were like $60 or $65. which I think is actually not a bad price for what you're getting here. A lot of Civivs are kind of getting ridiculous with the pricing, but this one was okay. I'm gonna put this one in A tier. We're gonna put that in A tier. That's a very, very cool knife. And unfortunately, Civivi releases so many new knives that a lot of really awesome designs in their catalog kind of get forgotten about, but that's a cool one. All right, let's do another Civivi. You guys see this one all the time. This is the Elementum 2, and of course, this is the Desert Warrior one. I use this for size comparisons. This is a cool knife. I do like the Elementum. I've always been a fan of the Elementum. I think, I've moved past the Elementum personally with my own EDC journey. The Elementum 2, I think, does make some improvements, especially in the ergos. Making it a little bit fatter really does improve the ergos. This, spear point hollow ground blade is really, really nice. Of course, this version is just really fun because it's the, donut operator version. I like the Elementum 2. Again, this is not a knife that I would consider to be one of my favorite knives of all time, but everyone needs a Desert Warrior knife in their collection. This is mine. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad I've got this. This is a cool little knife for sure. And the Elementum is a legend. It's a classic. Civivi does a very good job with their button locks, by the way. This is flipper only deployment, but they have that detent dialed with the button lock, and that's not something that you always get. So, yeah, they did a good job. Civivi, great build quality, good blades, good edges. This is going in A tier as well. I do like that knife quite a bit. Okay, here's one that some of you may not know about. And this was my very first button lock. I've had this knife for years. This is the Tangram Vector with Akuto 440C steel and aluminum scales that are absolutely burning the ever-loving crap out of my hands. Gosh. I've been carrying this knife a lot recently too, and as you can see, it's filthy. I need to sharpen it, but this is an excellent little knife. Tangram, what used to be like the very budget line of Kaiser, and these knives, I believe this knife was less than 30 bucks when it was brand new. I think it was an Amazon exclusive brand too, but there's so much that's cool about this knife. T8 hardware all the way around, beautiful milling on these aluminum scales. They're contoured. You have inset liners. Very comfortable. This is a smaller knife, but, it still feels like it fills out the hand. Very nice drop point blade here. A little bit of recurve in there, but I don't mind a little bit of recurve. And this is running on phosphor bronze washers. Great action. Thumb studs are placed really well. Very poppy. It does not have an action like a lot of the other knives we've looked at so far. Because it's on washers, it's a little more hydraulic, a little bit slower, but I don't mind that at all. Also, man, this thing's filthy. The plunge in this knife is massive, which I appreciate seeing. This is just a really, really awesome knife. This was the only Tangram I ever got, although I really want to get a Tangram Santa Fe for obvious reasons. I thought that would be cool, but these are discontinued now. But this continues to be one of my favorite button locks ever, and this was the first one that I ever used, really. And I do love that washer action. This is going to be shocking. This is S tier. That's our first S tier button lock. I think that thing is absolutely incredible, and that did come out before button locks were like a fad, which I think is pretty cool. Absolutely love that thing. Let's go on to another blue aluminum. Another blue aluminum handled button lock. A lot of button locks have blue aluminum handles, which I'm not complaining about. I love blue aluminum, but I think a lot of them have those color handles because of the Malibu, of course. The original Malibu came with blue aluminum option. And that knife kind of started this whole craze, and I think a lot of knives pay homage to it with that. Oh gosh, you got another blue aluminum knife to look at here in a little bit. But let's look at this one. This is the Syncut Serene. This is an absolutely excellent knife. D2 blade, and by the way, Syncut Civivi does an excellent job with their D2. I wish they'd use D2 on everything, even in Civivi's line. D2 is a great steel. I don't know why all you guys are sick and tired of it. It's a good steel, especially when it's done right. It can be pretty crappy if it's done wrong, but that's the same for any steel. But we've got a flipper tab, we've got thumb studs, excellent ergos, beautiful fully flat ground drop point blade. This is a knife on the larger side. I love this knife. I don't carry it as much as I used to. I don't carry it as much as I should, perhaps, but this thing is it's incredible. I do like this knife a lot. So, and the price on these is really good too. What were these, like 45 bucks? I think these are still around. Have these been discontinued? I hope not, because this is an awesome knife, and I do love aluminum. And these are, I think, these are just aluminum scales. I don't think, there's no liners in these, I don't think. Yeah, no, it's just aluminum. So pretty lightweight. Very cool knife. This is an S tier as well. Easily an S tier. All right, let's move on to another one of my earliest button locks, and one that gave me so much frickin' trouble. The Kaiser Beg Lighter XL. This one was a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. When it came out, this used to have the brown micarta, but I dyed it. You guys can go and watch all my videos for this knife. It gave me so many problems. I fixed it up since, and it works out nicely now. Still a little bit lazy on the action, but I basically switched out the spring in the plunge. Did some other work on it. Again, check out all my videos. This knife, again, had this horrible issue where it would lock closed or it'd open and it would lock open. And then when I thought I'd fixed that and adjusted that out, it got to the point where it just wouldn't lock up at all. You'd flick the flipper tab and the blade would bounce open and then like bounce closed again. Just so many issues. The knife itself is okay. It's okay. 154 cm micarta. I've always found this knife to be a little bit awkward. I like big folders. This one's just like weighted really weird. Like it's super back heavy. Like the balance point on this knife is, yeah, like right there. What? This knife's just always felt awkward in the hand. The blade is fine, but it's not great. It doesn't cut that well. I think, again, I have fixed this knife up so that now it's functioning okay. Now the knife functions like a knife should. It functions like a real knife. I think if I were to rank this like out of the box, I would give it D or maybe even F tier. Right now, it's probably a B tier knife, but because of those big issues that I had with it that took me a long time to fix, I think it's going to average out, and I think we're going to have to put that in C tier. That's shocking, but I do not have very fond memories of that knife. Yeah, we're going to put that in C tier. I think that's somewhat fair. Okay, I think all the rest of the knives I have with me right now are CJRBs, so we'll get to those. Oh, and I've got a couple of others, but we'll get to those ones last. Right now, let's actually go and look at some knives that I ranked a while ago up north. Alrighty, guys, going to cut in here for a second and show you a couple of other button lock knives that I have in storage at my parents' place that are still technically part of my collection, so I'll mention them here. The first is the Sarge. I can't remember what this knife is called, but I will write it in the title. And this is my first button lock flipper. I do wish it was tip up carry, but the ergos on this thing are so good. And the button lock action, low-key kind of fire. I am not going to lie. In fact, I might actually take this back home with me, back south. Because that's kind of a fun knife. Yeah. Blade steel here is 440C. I don't mind that at all. The centering is off. It always has been. I have not been able to fix it. But the blade, there's no blade play. This thing is rock solid, and especially for a button lock, that's kind of shocking. And these are like $20. Think we're gonna have to put this knife think we'll put this knife in B tier. I know, that's crazy, but we're going to put it in B tier. We're going to put it in B tier. All right, moving on. Stack all my stuff over here. This is a knife that was given to me by someone a while ago, and I think it's a fake. It's a Kershaw, and it is a launch. I'm not sure which one it is. And I've adjusted the pivot on this knife so many times. And look, and it just, sometimes it just doesn't even lock up. I mean, this thing is there we go. This thing's pretty garbage. That's why I kind of think it's a fake. The aluminum is done, you know, fairly well, but it just feels like trash. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't trust this thing. I just do not trust this thing at all. So, I'm going to put that in F tier. F tier Buttonlock. I really don't think that's an actual Kershaw launch series. So, yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Okay, and then I've got 3 more here. These are all utility blade knives. 2 of them are actually the same. And these are button locks, but these are interesting because the button locks them closed, and you push the button to open them, and it locks them open as well. This one I really don't like because the button is completely flush with the handle when the blade is open, and it's kind of hard to press it again. And then when I close it, you'll see this. See how much it jumps up and it gets all tall again? Yeah, and that's flat. I don't like that a whole lot. I don't really like the system. We have like these thumb discs here but you can't open them unless you push the button first. So these are kind of, for all intents and purposes, two-handed. Nothing really wrong with that, but this one's a little bit awkward to me. So we're going to put this one in D tier. These ones are a little bit better. In fact, can I flick? Yeah. This one you can flick open. And then you've got your utility cutter. I think this one you can flick open too. In fact, I think these are the same thing. Let's see if this one's a little bit looser. No, okay, this one you cannot flick open. I mean, I like this one's better than the other one, but just barely. So I think we'll put these ones in D tier as well. Just maybe D plus, D minus. D's nuts. Alrighty, we're back. Let's go ahead and finish up this list. Let's start with the last blue aluminum one, I think. No, it's not the last blue aluminum one, but it's the last one I had sitting out here in the sun. Ooh, that is the CJRB Mica or mini feldspar. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to like wrap this one up in the shirt for a little bit. Excellent little knife. I really enjoy this knife. Again, this is one that I haven't carried in a little while just because I have so many knives to carry, but I do like this knife. And as far as the small knife goes, this is one of the easiest ones to operate. The only like small knife that I like better than this is the Baby Banter from Civivi, but this is definitely one of my favorite, fifth pocket knives. Again, I'm a sucker for blue aluminum, so I love the feeling. I love my CGRBs. The Mica, what a great name. Mica is a phyllosilicate mineral group. My favorite mica is a mineral called lepidolite. It comes in like pinks and purples or silvers. Often occurs in pegmatites. It's often enriched in incompatible elements. It occurs a lot with spodumene, and lepidolite and spodumene are both major sources of lithium, so they're very important economical minerals too, especially right now where lithium and rare earth elements are becoming very sought after. Finding pegmatites that are enriched in lepidolite, spodumene. You know, that's what everyone's looking for right now. Anyways, geology lesson aside, this is a really, really cool knife. I like this knife a lot. I think it's super cool. I'm going to put it... Ooh. I'm going to put it in A tier. I was going to put it in S, but I think A tier is better. What is up with my hair? I see something's going on back there. I can look at my shadow and see my hair is all crazy. I need a haircut is what it is. But anyways, I'm going to ignore that for a second. I don't think I like it as much as the other knives that I have in S tier. It's at the very top of A tier. It's like an A+, but we'll leave it there for now. Okay, next up, the CJRB Pyrite Light. Another knife that I really love, have not carried in a while just because I've been carrying so many other things, but this was one of my favorite. Yikes, the plastic is hot too. Ugh. This is one of my, ow, and I touched the pivot. Okay. This is one of my favorite knives to carry for a long time. That's a very hot blade. Why am I an idiot? This is one of my favorite knives to carry for a very, very long time. I think this is an excellent knife, and the price tag on these is just phenomenal. Love the ergos, love the blade shape. Need to try out a big one. I keep meaning to. There's a lot of knives from CJRB actually that I've been wanting to check out, but guys, I have not bought a knife in so long just because I have so many knives that have been sent to me and stuff that I'm working on reviewing. I just don't want to add more to the stack. Yeah, and really, I don't need more knives, so buying stuff for my personal collection isn't really something that's on the top of my list right now. But this is a really excellent knife. I love a whole lot about this knife. Such a good user, and again, that price tag makes these super, super compelling. AR RPM 9, injection molded scales, reversible clip. Great texturing and contouring on these scales. I love this knife. This is bringing back memories just holding this knife. This is one of my very first dedicated peak bagging pocket knives. I've got such good memories of that knife. Makes me want to carry it again. I might go in my pocket when I'm done filming here. Okay, let's go on to another CJRB. All the rest of these knives for a little bit are going to be CJRBs. This is one that's very interesting. This is the CJRB Feldspar. This was a White Mountain Knives exclusive button lock version with the black micarta and the blue pivot collar. I love the look of this knife. I think this knife is awesome. The button lock aspect of this knife is okay. This was a button lock that came out kind of at the beginning of the button lock craze. I don't think CJRB had quite finessed their button locks yet. It's not a bad one, but they've made better ones. I absolutely love this knife. I've got a pretty wicked edge on here right now. Yikes. AR RPM 9, super comfortable contoured micarta scales. This is, again, a knife I haven't carried in a while. I love the Feldspar. I think this was my favorite Feldspar for a little while. I do really like the button lock version. Please, CJRB, release a version of the Feldspar with a top compression lock that's affordable so I can get one. I love the Feldspar. This is like my favorite series of knives. This is one of my favorite. I think the Feldspar to this day is one of the greatest budget knife designs of all time. Absolutely goated tool. This one is very, very cool. Do I want to put it in? This is another one that I'm debating between S tier and A tier. You know what? Screw it. I was going to go A, but we've got to go S. It's about to start storming. You guys want to look over here. Let me get my ugly mug out of the way. Those clouds all rolled in, basically, since I've been here recording. You might have noticed the light change just now, and yeah, it's getting dark above my head. These storms roll in quick in the desert. Man, it's beautiful out here. That shade is going to feel so nice. Yeah, it's storming like crazy out there. Looks like it's blowing in from Upham. Might still be raining on Upham a little bit out there on the Jornada del Muerto. Anyways, okay. We're going to put it in S tier. We're going to put it in S tier. I do love the feldspar. It's such a good knife. It's such a good knife. And that's a cool one. And that micarta is pretty cool. Okay. All right. Moving on. Got to open a pouch. These knives should not be that hot to the touch. Oh, yeah, let's do this one next. This one fits. This is also a CJRB feldspar. This is one of the ones with the Damascus blade and the steel handles. These, how much were these when these first came out? Like, I think these, you can find these for like 60 bucks. I think this is one of the coolest knives that CJRB has ever made. This Damascus blade performs pretty dang well, about on par with the AR RPM 9. I love these steel scales. You know, you've got a little scallop here. The weight is excellent. This knife feels so good in the hand. Again, I'm holding this knife and I'm like, oh, I just want to carry it. Man, sometimes I come back to some of my favorite knives, and even though I know that they're good, I'm just reminded how good they are and why they're my favorite. I'm like, wow, man, I haven't carried this knife in so long. And it's like, oh, I just want to get back to it. If I didn't have anything else to review, this is what is on my ear. I think I got bit by a bug. Okay. This is just a great knife. This one's an S tier easily. In fact, I think this is my favorite Buttonlock that I own. This thing's just absolutely stunning. And again, they're affordable. They also have one that's like got the black scales. I don't know if they're still around, but maybe I'll get one of those one of these days. I own a lot of feldspars. This is one of the few knives that I've bought like multiple copies of, and it's just such a strong design. I love the feldspar. I love the feldspar. Nothing else to say about that. Okay, open another one of my CJRB pouches. I like CJRB knives too, quite a bit if you can't tell. Okay, this is the first. Let's bring out all four of these right now. I think this next knife that we're looking at, this is the knife model that I own the most variations of, and I think this is going to finish up our CJRB knives. Yes. There's a couple of there's a couple of other CJRB Buttonlocks I really want to get. The Elko, the like Shillin cutter one. There's some cool ones that I have in like my shopping carts, just sitting there for months and months, but never pull the trigger on because I got better things to spend my money on, to be quite honest. So, man, that bug bite is like right in the spot where it's like rubbing up against my hat, and that is very, very uncomfortable. Okay, start with the OG. Wow, that was lazy. The Pyrite. This is one of the like special runs they did when they first released this that has like the brushed gold scales. Of course, pyrite is a mineral, fool's gold, iron disulfate, or iron disulfide, my bad. You know, FeS2. Very, very common iron mineral. The Pyrite is just a great knife. It really is. This knife and I have had a lot of interest together. I got this knife for myself as kind of a birthday gift several years ago. I like this knife a lot. Classic drop point blade. Great size. You know, it's a little bit on the smaller side, but this is the kind of knife that's like just perfect EDC size. And again, I'm holding this and I'm like, man, I really want to just start carrying this knife again because this is such a good knife. The steel scales are milled out very well. This knife does have a very good weight. Blow some gunk out of there. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this knife. This is S tier. Feldspar, by the way, is also a mineral. Feldspars are a large group of minerals. There's two main different groups of feldspars. One is the K spars, or the potassium feldspars, and these are microcline, orthoclase, and sanidine. They're very common minerals. They occur in a lot of volcanic rocks. Sanidine is exclusive to extrusive felsic rocks. The other series of get out of my face. The other series of feldspar is called plagioclase feldspars, and these exist on a scale from calcium rich to sodium rich, the albite anorthite range. But anyways, You guys don't care about all that. There we go. That's the feldspar, or that's the pyrite. That's also an S tier. Moving on. You know, we're not going to have very many low tier knives on this list because, again, I'm not a huge Buttonlock fan. So if there's a Buttonlock that's going to stick around in my collection, it's probably going to be a good one. We have the Pyrite Alt. This is a Wide-Mount Knives exclusive. This one has the, like, I don't know, kind of topo G10, which I really, really like. Blade hole, button lock, unique blade shape. This is a knife that I really, really enjoy. In fact, this was one of my knives I carried my last year cowboying up in the Rockies for the ranch I was working for. And I'd actually pair this with my Dimco Free Rein. And those are like my work knives. Dimco Free Rein for a lot of my bigger tasks, and this knife for a lot of these smaller, slicey tasks that I'd encounter throughout the days up there. Excellent action. I wish the jimping on this one went out further like it does on the big one. This is a great knife, great blade shape. Maybe arguably a better blade shape than the other one. I like them both about equally. Great knife, affordable. This is an S tier as well. I think the Pyrite series has been like exceptional for CJRB. And this might actually be the list where we get the most S tier knives. I don't think all these knives would be S tier if I was ranking my entire collection, like compared to my entire collection. I think this one would probably get bumped down to A tier. This one might also be bumped down to A tier for like comparing my entire collection, but as far as just button locks go, yeah, those are definitely S tiers. Okay, next up we have, should have done this one. This is another CJRB Pyrite. This is a nice and exclusive. This one was also a gift. Air RPM 9, titanium bolsters, titanium clip, and micarta. This knife came to me and it was not functioning right. Again, button locks sometimes have problems. I fixed it up and it's working excellently now. I love the look of this knife. I'm a sucker for bolsters. I think CJRB does a beautiful finish on these blades. I think this is a great looking knife. I'm a fan of this. Am I going to demote it for the issues that I fixed? I don't know. The other thing too is now this has probably the best action of any of my Pyrites. The ergos are so good. My biggest complaint with the Pyrites is choil, of course, but I think I can kind of get away with it on this knife. Nope, it's getting S tier as well. I've got to. All right, next up, my Bowie Pyrite. I love the blade shape here. And this one, as you can see, is kind of the same style as the other one. But this one is not. Yeah. Clean some of the smuts off this blade. I need to like go and like clean up a lot of my knives, I guess. But this one has wood instead of micarta, and this is aluminum instead of titanium, and we have the regular clip. This is a cool knife. I think this knife looks awesome. I want to get one of the slip joint versions. Again, there are so many CJRBs that I'm thinking about right now where I'm like, oh, I really want that knife. For my collection, a lot of knives I look at nowadays, I think about them in terms of, oh, I'd like to review that. I'd like to make content on that knife. A lot of CJRBs I want just for my collection because I am a big CJRB collector. I think their designs are fun. They're named after geology terms. I like CJRB. What can I say? Now, this knife has the worst action of any of my Pyrites. I have done some fixing with this one too, but this one used to be like extremely sloppy. I stretched out the spring and it's better. It's still a little bit weak. You know, you just gotta give it some authority. This one's also a little bit less utilitarian than some of the other ones, even though I love the blade shape. It's so cool looking. I think I'm gonna give this one A tier. Still very, very good. Very, very cool knife, but man, get out of my ear, bugs. Look at that. Look at that. I crushed that little son of a gun. This is why I should not make videos down by the river. My ears get eaten. Things try and crawl in my ear and eat what's left of my brain. Oh boy. Yeah, no, that one's gonna go in A tier. Really, really cool knife, but I do think it's definitely my least carried and probably least favorite of the Pyrites. even though I do think it looks just cool as all hell. All right, my last pyrite. This is the Pyrite XL. This one's also a nice center exclusive. Air RPM 9, beautiful carbon fiber, and these gold accents. I love this knife. I think this knife looks so cool. I actually think I like the smaller Pyrite better. But this one's really, really awesome. This knife's also super lightweight for its size. And this is a big, big old knife. It's a fun one, though. It's a fun one. I love it. I think this knife looks very cool. And these, again, not very expensive. I use this knife a lot. Really, really enjoyed carrying this knife. This is probably the fanciest budget knife in my collection. I think it looks just beautiful. It looks so elegant. I'm a fan of gold liners, and this carbon fiber is just gorgeous. This is also an S tier. Again, I do think, like, in a vacuum, I do like the smaller Pyrite better than a large Pyrite. I don't think it was always that way. Again, I used to be way more of a big knife guy, but the smaller Pyrite is definitely better. I have a bunch of small Pyrites, only have the one big Pyrite, so you know that shows a lot. But yeah, that knife right there, I love that knife. It's a beautiful knife. The large Pyrite is a great knife. That's S tier for sure. Okay. Now, where is... Oh, did I forget? Oh, no, there it is. Is it? No. Did I forget that one? I better not have. How could I? No. No, I pulled it out this morning, too, and I was looking at it. Did I forget to put it in the bag? No way, Gideon. How could you do this? You idiot, you imbecile, you fool. You're going to have to go back and record another little slice to add in now. Nuts. I'm an idiot, guys. I'm an idiot. Nope, I don't have it there. I don't have it there. Man, sometimes I wish I wasn't dumb, guys. My life would be so much easier if I wasn't such an absolute idiot. Wow, that is... that's a shame. I pulled it out this morning specifically for this video. I know what happened too, though. There's another knife in its case, and I took that knife out, and I think I just forgot to bring the case. Let me check and see if it fell out in my truck. Nope, I just plain old forgot it. Dang it, it's a CJRB frac. I can never get these videos right, guys. I can never get these videos right. There's always something I'm forgetting, right? Okay, well, we'll cut over right now, and you guys can see my thoughts on the CJRB frac. All right, guys, well, I just got home. It's raining. Raining pretty hard, pretty good. Just a little bit of thunder just a little bit ago, but I think we missed it. Okay, guess what was on my bed? The knife that I forgot. So let's go ahead and let's talk about it real quick. Let's rank her. This is the CJRB frac. A very cool knife, but a knife that I've liked less and less the more I've had it. It's still a cool knife. It's a good knife. I'm not saying it's not a good knife. I might actually get another one. I know I'm saying I don't like it that much, but I might get another one. I want to get one of the silver ones that doesn't have the frag pattern. I gave my cousin a blacked out one without the frag, and I thought that one felt way nicer than my fragged out one does, so we might do that. My biggest problem with this knife is the massive choil. You guys know I don't like choils, and I really don't like them on big knives like this. If you're going to be carrying this much blade, I think you deserve to have a lot of usable edge, as much as possible, preferably. So, you know, this kind of takes that away. It's still a very cool knife. It's a well-built knife. I love CJRB steel handles. I think I've said that before. I really love them. I hope they keep doing them for the foreseeable future. They're just really awesome. They're incredible. This knife here, this is a cool knife. This is a good knife. But it's not a standout, I don't think. I'm going to give this a B tier. And I know that might seem crazy. This is a B+. But yeah, I am going to give it a B tier. Very cool knife. I do like it a lot, but if I'm being completely honest and thinking about like all the different knives in my collection. This is not one that I really reach for ever. Yeah, I think B tier is a good spot for this. Very, very top of B tier, to be sure, but we're gonna put it in B tier. Okay, we have 3 knives left to go over. The first one was sent to me several months ago, and I haven't opened it yet. This was sent to me by Zach. So let's go ahead and get into this right now. This is a DeWalt folding utility knife. I got extra blades on the back. So let's go ahead and cut this little zip tie right here. Oh, it comes with no blade installed. Okay, so we gotta get the blades out too. How many blades does it come with? Oh, I think it just comes with 1 blade, so it doesn't come with any extra blades. It just comes with the 1 blade to put in here to be able to use it. Get out of. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut through this little plastic. Blister packs, guys. Blister packs. Why? You know what? Could I just do this? No, probably better not. Get fancy with it. There we go. Yep, just 1 blade. Okay, ow. Get off of me, bugs. So it looks like we have bearings in there. Also looks like we got a pretty robust little plunge lock. Oh. Yep, it locks closed. So this is a gravity. You know, the Civivi Elementum button lock, the one that's like basically a gravity knife because you can't deploy it any other way. I've always wanted to get one of those. Also, the Work Sharp, the Work Sharp knives look very, very interesting too. I'd love to review one of those, but never had the option to. Those are unique button locks that I really enjoy. So we've got a little thing here where we pull that up to put the blade in. So we're gonna put the blade in. We're gonna pull that up. And there we are. We have a wire clip that is 2-way positionable. That button sticks out all the way. That is a very snappy close. Okay, so where do we rank this? I've never used this, obviously. I do like this better than a lot of like the other utility blade things that I showed at my parents' place. Do I like it that much better? Probably not. Centering is perfect. That's so weird. I'm not a huge fan of utility knives, but this was actually kind of a good one. I think Zach wanted me to like do an IEDC blank for 2 weeks video with this, and you know what? I think I'm going to. That'll be fun. I'll carry this for 2 weeks and then make a video about it and see if I hate myself afterwards. It's okay. Oh wow, the plastic here is the stop. I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know what? We're gonna give it C tier. We're gonna give it C tier, just because I'm not a big fan of exchange blade knives, but we'll give it C tier. It's interesting, at least. It's intriguing. Okay, our last 2 knives. The first one, let's go ahead and do this one because it's our very last blue aluminum knife. It is from ProTech, but it's not the Malibu. This is the ProTech Rockeye from Les George. CP of 3V on this, blue aluminum. This is the only USA-made knife on the list, I think. This is a beautiful knife. I absolutely freaking love this knife. I have not been using it as much as maybe I should, but this is so good. I love Les George designs, and this knife is making me want to get as many of them as I possibly can. This is just such a good user. I mean, this feels so good in hand. This blade is excellent. I love that classic drop point. Good thumb ramp, good jimping. This thing's excellent. Of course, the action, the automatic action from ProTech is stellar, stupendous, amazing, beautiful, perfect. This is an S tier. Pretty freaking easily. That is an S tier. I said the Feldspar, the Damascus Feldspar was my favorite button lock today. Actually, it's probably that Les George. That one's probably my favorite. Okay, last button lock. We have the Boker Kalashnikov Bowie version. This is in D2 steel with aluminum scales, contoured, ribbed for your pleasure. We have pocket clip for keeping your pocket. We have automatic action. Very good Russian technology. Not really, this is not Russian knife. This is not made in Russia. It is very dirty on blade. Oh my goodness, what is Gideon doing with this thing? It is very dirty. I'll tell you what happened with this knife. I took this knife hiking yesterday, and I used it to harvest some prickly pear and cactus. My Russian accent started to slip there at the end. I think what made it slip was I was gonna call it cactus nopales, and I'm not sure how to say nopales in the Russian accent. It's a Spanish word. Let's see here. Could I speak Spanish with a Russian accent? My name is Dmitry. I'd like to drink vodka and chase bears through the snow. Hola, amigo. I don't know. I can't do that. Anyways, Boker Kalashnikov. This is a very, very cool knife. I've been enjoying carrying this. Let me clean off that blade. Ugh. Using my spit when I could just go and dunk it in the river right there, but ain't nobody got time for that shit. Yeah, it does have prickly pear juice all over it. Which, interestingly enough, has rusted the coating on this blade. What is this coating? I don't know. I don't care. The edge, this is really weird. So yeah, this knife just went in my pocket last night, and then I carried it today. But after harvesting all that fruit and being left dirty, the edge has not rusted. That is a little bit of juice on there. But we have picked up some rust on the coating. Anyways, that's beside the point. I've been having a lot more trouble with rust recently than I have in the past, and there's a couple things that I figured out why. Number one is I have been actually doing some rust testing on certain steels, so I've been intentionally trying to rust them. But number two is I have a swamp cooler in my apartment, and I think that is introducing a lot more humidity to my environment than has typically happened in the past. So might be something to take into consideration. Anyways, this knife, very cool budget auto, probably one of the best budget autos ever made. I'm a big fan of it. I like it a lot. I've been enjoying carrying it. It's very fun. It's very affordable. This is going in A tier. It's going in A tier for sure. And that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you like when it comes to your button locks? Do you agree with my list, disagree, whatever? Let me know in the comments below. I'm getting eaten alive by these flies. Fuck you. Okay. So that's going to be it. Big shout out to my channel members at the Cowboy level. I appreciate everything you do for the channel. If you want to become a member and support me directly, there's a link down below. As for the rest of you hooligans, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.